Tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been in the legislature, and what are some of the issues that you're passionate about?
I was first elected to the legislature in 1996, and I have been serving 2 or 3 districts since then, and I have served 5 counties, which is the largest geographical district in the state, and I have dealt primarily with rural issues. And the environment is probably my strongest suit. I'm a licensed graduate civil engineer. I've got a Bachelor in Science from the University of Tennessee, and I've got a military high school postgraduate diploma from Castle Heights Military Academy. I did do some graduate work at Vanderbilt, but I don't have a degree from there. My mother and father are school teachers. They were school teachers. My mother was a math teacher. She had 20 hours beyond her master's in mathematics. Probably is where I got to be an engineer. She had a heavy math influence upon me. My father was an agriculture teacher and a physics teacher, and he taught basically, I think, maybe to get a hold of the basketball, football. He coached everything in the high schools, and back when I grew up, they had only one coach, so he coached girls, boys, and everything. So that's kind of the background. I married a girl from my high school. I married the FFA sweetheart at Adamsville High School, and I've had her for 40 plus years, and I reckon she's done a good job, and I have too, but it never occurred to me that choice wasn't what I should make. It never occurred to me that I should change. We raised 2 kids. They both have college educations. One of them is a registered nurse in Nashville, and the other one is principal of the high school, of the elementary school in New Johnsonville. He coaches ball also, basketball, and went through Union University on a basketball scholarship. Those kids have been very good. I'm extremely proud of them. I don't know of anything in my background personally that should be a problem to anybody in public life, and I've been there probably long enough that there has been a vast amount of research done on me personally.
What are some of the issues that the legislature is facing in 2013?
The legislature is facing the issues of education, and we've made some vast changes in education, and whether or not they're working and we want to continue to go that direction or not is going to be a very important. I think that the issues that we have with money have basically going to come to a problem where the money is not a problem. I see the collections for the state growing every day. I'm very impressed with the fact that there's probably about 250, maybe $300 million extra money collected since we passed the budget in April, and we'll have that money influxed into the thing next year. And I don't believe that the shortages towards programs are going to be seen. I do think that health care is going to be very important. If perhaps, you know, the Obamacare or what it is, and Obamacare is a very misunderstood thing. I think it has some good things in it. It has some bad things in it. But it's like all bills that are of that magnitude. You don't necessarily want to throw out the bathwater with the baby and everything else and say, oh, it's all bad, and let's get rid of it and start over. I think that there's some things in there that people want, mainly pre-existing conditions. Man, that's a huge one.
Tell me about your recent trip to Washington and why you were in Washington, D.C., and what the trip was about as it concerns TVA.
Yeah, my current district is all along the river, and I have been totally involved with a lot of the happenings of TVA, and a lot of the things that TVA has done have been in the environmental field, and we think maybe that we'd like an input on that. The input is very difficult to get sometimes with TVA, but I'm very much interested in the jobs that may be lost along the Tennessee River at the Johnsonville plant. I wanted to make sure that Alexander understood that coal-fired boilers aren't the only way to make steam, and we can still use that facility, which is a very viable facility, and I honestly believe personally that it will happen. I think Alexander listened very carefully to what I had to say, and we visited also to get to know them, all of the representatives and senators that deal with TVA, both in Kentucky and Alabama and Mississippi. Also, there is a fee and an imposition that TVA is imposed for coming up the first of the year, that they just decided they would charge a fee for all of the marinas and everything on the TVA system, and as a percentage of their total intake, because they get their money based on the river and they're interested in making some money out of that. I tried to ask them, rather than just to make an imposition and say an edict of January the 1st, and that's what it is, that they probably should back up and have public hearings for maybe a year or so, and then find out if that is exactly how they want to go. They also enter into the people that camp and the camping rules and regulations and things like that. We discuss all that.
All right. You have a Republican challenger. You have not had challengers very often in your career, so tell me a little bit about having a challenger for the election in November, and how do you plan to campaign?
The campaign coming up in November, I'm going to sell myself, who I am, what I believe in, and that kind of thing. And on one-on-one, you're going to find it hard to beat me on what I have for goals and what I can do for the community. I bring forth with some very interesting ability to do things on infrastructure and things of that nature, and I see my new district as needing that more than my old district has in the past. I'll probably move a little bit from totally focused on the farm issues and the environment issues into the infrastructure and growth issues, and growth is a problem here in